And the biggest headline to emerge out of the much-anticipated bilateral between President Biden and Indian PM is also the most unanticipated. Taking the spotlight away from landmark leaps in defense, trade and technology transfer was a question posed by a journalist from an American newspaper. The question was about rights of minorities and free speech in India. Prime Minister Modi's answer has set the cat amongst the pigeons. Before we tell you about the debate that's been ignited by the remarks, listen in to PM's unequivocal assertion on the strength of democracy in India.
जो आश्चर्य हो रहा है कि आप कह रहे हैं कि लोग कहते हैं नहीं, भारत डेमोक्रेसी है। और जैसा राष्ट्रपति बाइडेन ने कहा, भारत और अमेरिका दोनों के डीएनए में लोकतंत्र है। लोकतंत्र हमारा स्पिरिट है और इसलिए जब आप डेमोक्रेसी कहते हैं, जब डेमोक्रेसी को स्वीकार करते हैं और जब हम डेमोक्रेसी को लेकर के जीते हैं, तब डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का कोई सवाल ही नहीं उठता है। और इसलिए भारत सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, सबका प्रयास, उन मूलभूत सिद्धांतों को लेकर के, और इसलिए हम चलते हैं। देयर विल बी एंड देयर मस्ट बी ए कॉन्टेस्ट ऑफ आइडियाज एट होम, बट we must also come together as one when we speak for our nation. We are home to all faiths in the world and we celebrate all of them. In India, diversity is a natural way of life. Today, the world wants to know more and more about India.
And the response comes amidst Indian opposition's repeated attacks on the state of Indian democracy, led by former Congress President Rahul Gandhi. In March this year, while on a UK visit, he had alleged that democracy in India was dead already. Even on his recently concluded US visit, he repeatedly expressed concerns over diminishing freedoms in India. However, his cynicism got a response from US President Joe Biden, who was accused of being oblivious and silent about India.
That's the nature of our relationship. We're straightforward with each other and we respect each other. One of the fundamental reasons that I believe the U.S.-China relationship is not in the space it is in the U.S.-Indian relationship is that there's an overwhelming respect for each other because we're both democracies. And it is in America's DNA, and I believe in India's DNA, that the whole world has a stake in our success, both of us, in maintaining our democracies.
Despite an overwhelming endorsement from Biden, opposition back home was quick to dismiss PM's response first as mediocre and then as false. While Congress reiterated democracy dead claim, Assuddin Owaisi raised the issue of rights for minorities being compromised. Responding to criticism, the BJP says their work speaks for itself and they do not need certificates from anyone.
तो जो डीएनए की बात आप करते हैं, लोकतंत्र तो है, लोकतंत्र में सबको बराबरी का हक है, पर ये आपने क्या किया है? क्या यहाँ पे लागू है या नहीं लागू है? इसका जवाब आपको देना चाहिए था.
We have about 2,500 political parties. We have about 20 different parties having governments in different parts of the state. That's a clear symbol of our democracy, and as PM has always said, we celebrate diversity in our country. That is clearly visible. Yes, there will be certain frustrated political classes who would like to criticize every good work which is being done. So, but the people in India, people outside the country, they all recognize the good work which has been done in the last 9 years.
अब जब एक यूएस का एक्स प्रेसिडेंट भारत के ताल्लुक से ये कह रहा है, तो फिर उस पर तो सरकार को सोचना चाहिए. और फिर प्रधानमंत्री जब डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं होता की बात कर रहे हैं, फिर मणिपुर में क्या हो रहा है? 300 चर्चेस को जला दिया गया, तो वो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की बेहतरीन मिसाल है मणिपुर.
Everybody today looks at India very differently. They look at India with respect, they look at India with optimism, they look at India as a nation that is certainly going to shine on the stage for the coming decade. The India decade, as our Honorable Prime Minister has named it. So I don't think we should wait for anybody to give us any certificates.
And to post to their argument, opposition has cited an interview given by former US President Barack Obama on the same day as the joint address. Asked how should a US president engage with Modi, Obama then responded saying that India may start pulling apart if the government does not protect the rights of its ethnic minorities. And even as Biden feeds Modi and Obama finds flaws, the question is, has Modi Sarkar's performance spoken for itself? Let's take this across to our guests. For more on this, we have with us Sazia Ilmi, BJP spokesperson. Also with us is R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist. With us is Vivek Bansal, Congress's senior leader. Let me come to you first, Mr. Bansal. The question that many are asking is that, at the end of the day, this is something that even the Prime Minister referred to in his speech to the Congress. He says there may be differences. There have to be arguments domestically in any vibrant democracy. But is there a need to take this abroad? Abroad, shouldn't we be one? And what has unfortunately happened, and clearly, of course, what he was hinting to, is the statements that have been made abroad, which at some level or the other have caused all of this controversy to make it seem as though there is absolutely no democracy or freedom of speech in the country, which many would say that's not the case. At least the BJP would, and many would. I request you to unmute yourself and speak, sir.
Please partially repeat your question, please. Sorry.
No, sir, it's very simple, sir. The point that is being made by the Prime Minister, even during the course of his speech in the Congress, is that there may be differences domestically. Why take them abroad? Can you hear me, Mr. Bansal?
Well, the voice again had disappeared, but partially what I could infer from your question is that as far as the PM's discourse out there in the US.
All right, lost that line there. Let me quickly, in fact, take this across to Sazia Ilmi of the BJP. Sazia Ilmi, the opposition leaders are quoting President Barack Obama, and they're saying that President Barack Obama has expressed some real concerns. Even though Biden may have said what he said in the presence of PM Modi, they're saying that Barack Obama, who the Prime Minister has time and again referred to as a close friend, if he is saying this, then surely there would be some truth in it. Your response to that, Sazia?
Well, I don't want to comment on what Mr. Barack Obama has said and at whose behest he's speaking and what information is he privy to. Clearly, we don't have any of that information that Barack Obama seems to have. What we know in India, and that Muslims, in fact, have been the biggest beneficiaries. If you look at all the government schemes, especially the central welfare schemes, whether it's Awas Yojana, or it is Mudra Yojana, or it's free ration scheme, or it is about LPGs and toilets. The percentage of Muslims in India, as quoted even in the US and by the Pew Center, is about 14%, whereas the beneficiaries of these schemes in India is 30% Muslims, which means a disproportionate to their population in the country. They have been the biggest beneficiaries, and not because Prime Minister is doing any kind of appeasement or the Modi government does any
But at the same time, we don't have to seek advice from others, outsiders. But at the same time, it provides us that what all wrong is going on. There is a feeling outside and in the country as well. We have a feeling that democracy is not functioning in the manner.
So if you have all these feelings, then you need to talk to someone.
It should be functioning
about it.
Any discordance
it's not about
or
feelings.
any
Democracy is not about feelings. It's about real facts.
Against the government is just muzzle and whatsoever, whatever things are happening. PM tends to talk about Man Ki Baat, but when it comes to the wrestlers' grievances, female wrestlers' grievances and their molestation, they have been talking about ladki padhao, ladki bachao, but PM doesn't bother to utter a word. Same happens what had been happening in Manipur. This massacre, carnage which had been going for days together, weeks together. There is not a single word of sympathy on this account. Then we keep on noticing that lynchings had been taking place.
Mr. Bansal, may I ask you a simple question? question. These are all very important issues, sir. Mr. Bansal.
That is not true, Mr.
One second. Mr. Bansal, let me just come in. I think one second. Let me bring the debate, please, back to. Let me bring it back. Sazia, please allow me to bring the debate back on course. Mr. Bansal, these are all very important issues. Nobody in his right mind would say that these are not important national issues. Certainly they are. But the question is this: is there a need to internationalize these issues? Is the Congress party not capable of taking on the BJP within the country? Why take it abroad is the question many are asking.
It is not a question of internationalizing. I think whatever you speak...
So when you go on foreign soil and you say democracy is dead, we want foreign intervention. Again in America, the same sort of statements are made by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So the BJP's question very often is why does... I mean, anybody has the freedom to say what they want to, but there's also a sense of responsibility that has to be there.
Let me just say let me just refer to what you have been saying about Rahul Gandhi, talking about what all is going in the country, or he's trying to say adverse thing about the democracy. He had been addressing the Indian diaspora there. They too have their voting rights. And secondly, when he said, he just tried to recall the statement of Mr. Arun Jaitley, when he talked about this globalization, integration, communication revolution, whatever you utter today in this country is definitely going to be globalized.
Okay.
So to say that on foreign soil,
Mr. Rajgopal,
I don't think it is meaningless.
Mr. Rajgopal, whatever you say in today's day and age, in this age of social media, it's anyway going to get internationalized. He was talking to Indians who are based abroad, so there's nothing wrong in what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said. It's perfectly fine. I want Mr. Rajgopal to come in on this. Yes, you made your point, sir. Now, Mr. Rajgopal, please.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi should not have spoken outside India. That is the befitting reply Mr. Narendra Modi gave. Will Rahul Gandhi also mention about 1984 Sikh rights? Will Rahul Gandhi also mention about 2009, the Tamil genocide, what happened in Jaffna, 2 lakh Tamil racism, completely wiped out? Did Rahul Gandhi utter a word about it? Apart from that, Mr. Barack Obama was wrong. For the first time in 2023, Mr. Madhav, India sent to Hajj pilgrims 4,000 Muslim women. Is it not a revolution? Mr. Barack Obama must understand that. In 10 years, there is no communal tension in India. That is how Mr. Narendra Modi has ruled India for the past 10 years. Apart from that, back home, Mr. Rahul Gandhi should understand what happened in Patna today fiasco is also a democratic institution, where Karnataka election was a democratic institution, and they won in Himachal Pradesh. That is also democracy. So democracy is thriving in India. Mr. Barack Obama, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Obama,
yes, Obama.
Whatever that. He is a forgotten institution. He is a toolkit to Congress.
Okay, let me bring in. Okay, many hands going up. I'm going to come to Mr. Bansal. I want to quickly give Atikur Rahman a chance also to come in because we have limited time. Atikur Rahman, your response to Mr. Rajgopal, because, at the end of the day, we're also seeing how, if this was indeed the case, and that question was asked at a press conference, end of the day, Joe Biden also, came out in support of the Indian position, because he said that we are both strong democracies that have a tradition of religious tolerance.
Now, Madhav, see the inherent, limitations what Mr. Gopalan is saying. Once you speak against the BJP, and mind you, we all want our Prime Minister to be a very, very strong figure once he is out of the country. There is no doubt about that, Mr. Gopalan. But the problem here is, when you are speaking on democracy and minority rights, we need to be careful. Once the Prime Minister is back, we will be showing the mirror to him and the BJP. In fact, Mr. Gopalan, everybody who speaks against the BJP becomes a toolkit. The Barack Obama too becomes, a toolkit. That's democracy on your part. That reveals your duplicity, and your hypocrisy on your part related to dememocracy. Father, once the BJP and the RSS, they want to have a very, very wide posture abroad.
Because he was
4,000 Indian women went
to voting facts.
Medina this time. 4,000 women.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Shazia wants to counter you. One second. Okay, Shazia, you can counter him. You can counter him. Yeah, I will. Yeah, you can counter him, but let him make his point.
I want to tell Barack Obama clearly he had wrong information.
That's undemocratic on your part,
The poorest 20% of Muslim households in India have benefited
One second.
from the government.
Okay, Atikur Rahman, just a second. Let her complete in 10 seconds. I'm going to come back to you.
No, sir, let's not scream. It's
Yeah.
about facts. It's about real numbers. In terms of access to electricity and housing, it's the average Muslim which has benefited the most from the Modi government. While an average Muslim was dehumanized and treated as just a member of the vote bank.
Atikur Rahman, quick response. Yeah. Almost out of time. Atikur Rahman.
Being given dignity. So Barack Obama was wrong on facts.
The Muslims of India expect the BJP and the Prime Minister of India to deliver the promises of none other than the first Home Minister of India.
That's what I was saying. If it
the
was,
minority right
it has already been done.
Okay.
You're just speaking. It's not about feelings, sir. It is about reality.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, completely out of time. Completely out of time. Would have liked to have a slightly more orderly debate, but I guess it is an extremely emotive issue. Sazia Ilmi, R. Rajgopalan, Vivek Bansal, and Atikur Rahman. We'll have to leave it there for the moment. Thanks so much for joining us.